Hey folks, welcome back to the Beer Ranch Garage, and I'm hoping this is going to be an entertaining video for you because I've done something stupid yet again. And that stupid thing that I've done is I bought another car, sight unseen, from hundreds of miles away without even talking to the owner, and have already exchanged money. Well, at least partially exchanged money. So the thing here is it's not just any car, it's my dream car that I've spent years and years looking for. And when it finally came across my radar, I was like, it's now or never. So either going to just pull the trigger and go for it and hope it works out, or let it pass by and spend, an inordinate amount of time looking for that same car again. Anyway, so why don't you tag along with me, and I'll let you know how this works out. All right, folks, getting ready to go up and grab this car, packing this car full of junk that I might need. Of course, all the tools, an OBD scanner, some coolant, some oil, all various sorts of sockets, ratchets, screwdrivers, extension set, impact, socket sets, more socket sets, a battery jumper, zip ties, electric tape, PB blaster. Probably need some gloves as well. Also, some jack stands, a jack, and then my buddy Gary here, who last time I was here, the only way I could convince him to come down is I told him he'd be handling some Longhart studs, and that's the only other video he's been on in that one. So I'll link that up there if you want to see how to install studs on an Audi. Gary's an expert at that. So yeah, we'll get going, and then we'll see. I'll show you what car I'm getting. All right, folks, just had a lunch at the Quaker Steak and Lube. Pretty fitting place for the day, I thought. Really cool inside. You saw that little clip of the ZX6R. I'll tell you a story about that in a little bit. But why don't we go see the car? All right, folks, so I told you it was my dream car, but I said dream with quotations because it means a lot to me, and normal people might not think as highly of it, but again, very, very significant to me. So the car that I've been searching years for and went through all this effort and time and distance to get is this 1996 Mustang GT in Pacific green metallic with the silver waffle wheels, 17-inch wheels, the gray interior, gray leather interior, and 79,000 miles on this. I have the stock OEM seats, the gray leather seats. The owner gave those to me. They're in our other car, the Toyota. They'll be heading back home. But this car is the exact spec of my very, very first Mustang that I ever had. And one of the very first Mustangs that I actually ever fall in love with before I even had my Mustang. A friend of mine's had this exact spec car. I've always loved it, and I have it again. So there she is. So later, when I get a chance to have a beer and talk more about it, I'll give you a little bit more detailed information. But right now, I'm about to drive a few hundred miles home, a couple hundred miles hopefully. What do you think, Gary?
Great.
Is it pretty easy to find these cars anymore?
These are rare as hen's teeth, I would say, especially in this condition. It's amazing how well kept this car has been.
Yeah. So I didn't film the owner, Colton, but I just want to say, man, if you end up watching this, thank you. This is exactly what I was hoping for and surpassed expectations. And you've been above board the whole way, and such a trustworthy guy, great family. Thank you. All right, so let's head on home.
Flying so close to where we belong, and we're trying to to go somewhere new. And I try to crack this iceberg.
Folks, so here we are. What a gem. As usual, anytime I try to film outside, it gets windy, so anyway, it's been a couple days. I've gotten the car home. I haven't had a whole lot of chance to drive her, but every time I take her out, I get compliments or thumbs up or whatever. People love this car, even though nobody would ever, you know, it's not a popular color or whatever, I guess, but it's just so few of these around anymore. But in any case, what a gem. Look at this girl. So let's give you a quick little closer view here. Now I gotta look up the there's some confusion on the paint coat. I call this Pacific Green Metallic. There's some confusion on the internet as to what this is called. In my terminology, is Pacific Green Metallic. I will look up the paint code from the door sticker later and get back here. But this car, when I bought it, had just under 79,000 miles. It still has just under 79,000. It's almost at 79. But I love this color. I love these 17-inch wheels. I call them the waffle wheels. I think 96 was the only year where they had this dull silver. The follow-on years were like more of a metallic silver, and then at some point they had a chrome. I hate those wheels. These wheels just pop with this color. But let me give you a walk around real quick. So this was a South Dakota car. It has been a South Dakota car, South Dakota and Iowa car for all of its life. I think I'm like the fourth owner or something. The first owner was a lady that had it for many, many years. But the paint is phenomenal. Phenomenal. This is the original paint. So whoever owned it kept it inside for certain. There's a couple of little dings and dents, not anything that I care about or would really have any issue with on a car that has almost 80,000 miles and is almost 30 years old. So no issue at all with it. The quality of the paint, just being Ford factory paint from the 90s, phenomenal. So I think what I'm going to do when I get a chance here in the next week or two is give it a good wash and hit it with some ceramic coating. We got some of that self-application of ceramic coating, and then ultimately this is going to live inside as well. But yeah, we saw the outside. Everything essentially is OEM factory except for a couple little things. Interior has got the gray leather interior, and these Corbeau racing seats are actually a lot more I like them a lot more than I thought. So I do have the OEM factory seats. They're probably going to go in there just to keep this car like stock and maintain that stock appearance. But I might put these in my other Mustang because they're really, really nice seats and I like them. The only other two things in the interior that aren't factory is the shift boot. I've ordered a new OEM shift boot, like a used OEM shift boot. So we'll hopefully go ahead and fix that. And then the factory aftermarket radio is not OEM. These radio, I'll have to decide what to do with that. I really want to keep it like a nice factory look to it. And like I said, I don't know if you can see from this distance, but we got 78,957 on the clock, so just under 79. Here's a little area that something tried to chew on it, but again, not too worried about it. We'll keep an eye on this to make sure like it doesn't get too bad as far as the paint and the clear coat have worn away. Let's look at the motor real quick. So I haven't touched up the car as far as detailing it or anything. This is how I got it. It's very dusty and dirty, but it's not leaking at all. There's very little that looks like it's leaking. It's such a treat to see these OEM coil holder or spark plug holders on these coil on plug. No, these are coil pack motors. What happens is these little clips get all discombobulated and it looks like crap. Whoever's been working on this, or maybe no one's touched it, they've maintained the factory OEM routing, which just looks so good. And when I do a tune-up, I'm going to make sure to keep that going as well. So yeah, once I get a chance to go over this real quick, we'll do a detail on the engine and make it pop and shine. Factory horsepower rating 215, and I believe 285 foot-pound of torque. In 1996, that was, you know, like, that was a decent amount of power. By today's standards, this thing is incredibly slow, but even more so than that, this girl has single piston calipers, and compared to my 2004 Mustang that has the Brembo upgrade, trying to stop this car is like mashing your foot into a tub of butter. So the brakes on this car leave a lot to be desired, but it still is a fun car to drive. There's that old adage of it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow, and this girl definitely is one of those candidates for that saying. Oh yeah, so as far as I can tell, aside from the shift boot and the radio, the only other thing that's not stock or factory is one of the previous owners, and I don't know if you can see it here. Well, if you can't see it, take my word for it. One of the previous owners cut out the mufflers and had basically is unmuffled exhaust pipe. Now it's got the full OEM catalytic converters and that within the H pipe and whatnot, but there's a pair of mufflers that are not there. There's no muffler, so it actually sounds pretty good. Let me give you a little start, and you can listen to it. Now it's not a cold start because I was driving this a minute ago, but. So that actually sounds pretty doggone good. I really like that. The car still gives me goosebumps. I love this car. It's such a time machine, basically. I drove this car home couple hundred miles. AC like the engine purrs, no issues mechanically whatsoever in any sense of the word. AC works marvelously. It's actually a comfortable car to drive. So let's give it a little quick whirl, and then let's go back to the house and do our first modifications. What we're going to do here is get rid of these horrific mud flaps and get rid of this dealer badge or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, folks, this is not a fast car, but it's a very smooth running car, and interestingly, it feels really well planted, right? Like, it's got the factory 245, 45, 7, well, not the factory tires, but the factory size tires, which are either 245 4017 or 245 4517. I'll have to look that up, but it feels really well planted. At least for what it is, right? Like, it's not going to be, this isn't a competition road car or anything like that, but it doesn't feel as sloppy as I remember these cars feeling. It feels pretty solid. Like I mentioned before, the brakes are miserable, so I wouldn't, I can't believe there was a time where Ford put out a Mustang with the types of brakes as this car has, but it's definitely a shortcoming. The only mechanical issue that I can see right now with this car, it's got an ABS light on, so we'll throw a scanner on it. It's likely going to be a sensor. Typically, what also causes ABS light on these cars is if it's low on brake fluid, but on this car, it's got plenty of brake fluid. All right, and off we go. So we've exposed ourselves to rock chips now, or we will be here in a minute, but yeah, these things look horrible, so it's a trade-off I'm willing to take. Holy cow, folks, I was about to throw these away because I thought they were just trash, but then I realized it kind of follows the contours of the bumper really well, and then I noticed on the front ones they have these Mustang logos and a Ford emblem. I said, holy cow, these are actually Ford parts. Wow, I bet you these were installed as like a dealer option when they're buying the car. Man, talk about like Clinton era boomerism, right? Wow. Anyway, so I'm gonna hang on to these just kind of for nostalgia to see like more, like learn more about them. But I thought that was funny. I thought they were like generic parts, but they're Ford parts. All right, folks, so the next thing we're going to try to do here is use our heat gun to get this dealer sticker off, or this dealer emblem, and spray it with some quick detailer. Give it a little bit of heat, not enough to damage the paint or get the Ford emblem off, but a little bit to soften up some of that adhesive, and then see if we can't hit it with some floss. Oh crap. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I got between the actual adhesive and the emblem. That sucks. So did need to spend a few more minutes going over it, but it's done pretty decent job. Might take a couple more applications of detailer and or cleaner or whatever, and we should be able to get the rest off. Oh my goodness, that looks so much better without those horrendous mud flaps or that tacky dealer sticker emblem. You can still kind of see the adhesive, but we'll get that off. Oh, so much better without those mud flaps. Oh. Hey, I wanted to, before I close out this video, send a cheers out to my YouTube friend, Matt Querio. I think he would understand the draw of this kind of car. I just saw his last video where he bought the horrific 87 Shelby Charger or whatever that horrible thing is. It's super, super cool car, and so I tip my hat to him. Similar to this is my dream car. It's special to me. This car had a lot of personal. It's special to me, you know. Growing up, it was a very symbolic about the times that I spent as a kid and in my younger years. So just getting this back means a lot, and I really like it. I really love this car. So I know it's kind of silly to say, but I think some of you will understand. Anyway, so this is an initial video introducing this car. I hope you liked it. I got, you know, we'll do some additional cosmetic details and talk about this generation of Mustang. This is called the SN95, and so I'll make a follow-on video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But really the intent of this car is, for me, is going to be just to keep it stock, and basically it's going to be my old man daily, not my old man daily driver, but my old man like Sunday driver. And so just kind of enjoy it for what it is and not mess with it. My other Mustang is going to be is a track car. This is going to be my old man nostalgia car. Anyway, I think this video is going to start going on really long if I don't end it right now. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this car. Let me know what you think about SN95s in general. And let me know what you think about this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.